Hi, and welcome to The Barn, live from the Barn studio. You got Chad here, and I am joined right now with a special guest online, Mr. Dave Allens from Big Love, a Fleetwood Mac tribute band. Dave, how are you?
I'm great. How are you doing, man?
Doing really good. We get to just sit here and talk about one of my favorite things to talk about, which is Fleetwood Mac, right?
Well, music in general, but yeah, I guess we'll narrow it down to Fleetwood Mac for this interview.
Reason I bring it up, you're coming into our area Friday, June 16th, the Orris Theater in St. Genevieve, Missouri. Big Love, a Fleetwood Mac tribute. Doors at 6:30, show at 8 p.m. We're excited to have you in our town.
Yeah, it'll be. We're excited to come, man. It's like an annual thing for us now. I think this will be like the fourth time we've been down there. So yeah, we're looking forward to it. We love that stage and we love that crowd.
Yeah, it's a super neat place. You know, we've got a lot of history there, and St. Gen, just in general, has a lot of history, especially the downtown area. So yeah, we're looking forward to that. We can't wait to see you. I haven't seen you before, but know that you're a Midwest band. And are you guys from St. Louis?
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
And I see that you guys play the Midwest quite a bit. I've seen that you hit Kansas and Illinois and all over. How active are you guys? How many shows a year or a month do you play?
I don't know. I wouldn't know offhand. I'm gonna say maybe 20. You know, probably at least a couple times a month, and it's usually St. Louis proper. Usually is only like maybe 2 or 3 shows a year, and then we hit all kinds of festival stuff. We go up to Chicago a few times, and then there's all these great little towns all up and through the whole Midwest corridor that we end up hitting too, and they have their summer festivals. So I would say summer's probably a lot heavier than the rest of the year.
It takes a special, talented musician to be able to recreate songs of Fleetwood Mac and other songs as well. Do you guys stay active in other bands? Are you active in other musical pursuits?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Me and the bass player from Big Love also have a duo together that we do. We also both play solo. Steve, the guitar player, is in 4 different bands. He's actually in Billy the Kid. He's in the Supertramp tribute. He's in the Elton John tribute here in town too. Dogs of Society. Gail does a duo with somebody else. Leah is actually a school teacher. She teaches music, and puts on music plays and all kinds of stuff throughout the years with the school. Daryl is the drummer, and he's in a couple different bands as well, Rathacon, and then we all just pick up stuff too, here or there, where whatever crosses our path. If it sounds fun and we'll make a little money, we usually go do it.
How did Big Love come together? Because you have a lot of band members, obviously. How did that come about, and when did you guys start?
Oh gosh, I'm not even sure how long the band's been going now. I think we're going on 10 years, I think.
Wow.
I didn't get into it until the 3rd year it was up and running, actually. They had a Party of the Ways with their lead singer at the time who was doing the Lindsey stuff. I had known the guy running the band for, several years from the music scene. And he just asked me if I wanted to come over and try it out and see if it was something I wanted to do. And to be completely honest with you, I was like, I didn't know, but I went over, I learned all the stuff, and I went over, and I was super excited about playing with those guys because they were such a great, I knew all of them individually and had been, already fans of them and friends of some of them. So it was, like, yeah, sure, why not? And then I think once I got in it, then that's when I was like, I really found myself just deep diving into the Fleetwood Mac catalog and realizing how great it is.
What is it about Fleetwood Mac? And I have my opinions on it, not that they matter, but what is it about Fleetwood Mac that makes them so great, do you think?
For me, one of the biggest things is vocal arrangement. Harmonies, 4-part harmonies, and then the way Lindsey just arranges all the music. But I also think, with that band, especially they were always cool. They didn't hit the mainstream success until Lindsey and Stevie got in there. And so I think another big reason for their success is probably, everybody knows all the relationship issues. I mean, that's a huge thing. So it's like, there's like a mystery kind of like, how did they do that? How did they manage to do that? I think that's an intrigue. But the other thing that I think makes them great, and especially for that time period, there weren't a lot of women in big rock and roll bands, and Stevie Nicks like just kind of took that and ran with it. Christine is a monster in her own right. But I think that really kind of that put them out there above everybody else is that they had that mix, of they had female lead, they had male lead, and they could switch on and off, and they had all those harmonies. That's what it was. That's what I think anyway. What's your theory?
Well, I mean, it's a lot of that. It's a lot of how the tension in the group seems to come through in the songs, and specifically with Rumours, right? Because that's the notorious one where they were all in love and having sex and fighting and all those things. So just the intensity of those songs. But,
I'll tell you what. If like go through a breakup and then listen to like the first like 2 albums with Stevie and Lindsey on it, just the regular Fleetwood and then Mac and then the Rumours album, and you'll just be like, holy cow.
Yeah.
You'll be like, this is so relatable.
Oh, yeah. As great as they are at writing love songs, their breakup songs, You Can Go Your Own Way and all those things. And then them singing it to each other sometimes on stage. I think, like you said, that was sort of the mystique of like, how could you even do that?
Yeah, it had to be amazingly tough. Anybody that, has any leftover emotions after a breakup knows that just being in a room with your ex can be difficult, much less trying to put together an album and then go on the road with that. Yeah, I have no idea how they did that.
You mentioned Christine, and I saw on your Facebook where you guys did an awesome tribute to her when she passed away recently. I think you guys were playing Del Mar Hall, and you guys did Songbird with some pictures playing on behind. And I know maybe some people would say John, but Christine is just sort of an unsung hero of Fleetwood Mac and seemed to kind of keep it together, and Mick as well, but keep it together when things were off the rails sometimes.
I definitely think she was probably a voice of reason,
right.
Through that. I think Mick was too, though. Mick has always been like the dad of the band. There was always some level heads going on, even when things were crazy. I think that helped a lot. And speaking of that tribute, we did that once, and it went really well. And we were honored to be able to even do something like that for her. But we saw the reaction of the crowd, and and Leah played the Songbird like probably the best I've ever heard her play it that night. It was beautiful, and we actually do have it recorded, thank God. But it was so moving that we kind of were just like, that's it. I think that's it. I don't want to nobody wanted to do it again. Right. It was just like that's it. It was just it was a little, I don't know how to explain it, but we were just like, it's not disrespect that we didn't want to do it and share it with more people. It was kind of like we just were all so kind of moved by it that we were like, let's just let that be what it is and move on.
Yeah, it seemed like such a touching and moving tribute, and her talents are just even hard to put into words.
She's definitely, I think, the unsung hero. If there's somebody flying under the radar talent-wise in that band, I think it's going to be her. I mean, John McVie is also just an amazing bass player, but having her being the voice and writing a lot of those hits, especially later in the career once I got into the 80s, Yeah, she was kind of the unsung hero of the band.
You know, with Fleetwood Macs and even specifically Stevie Nicks fans, how do you keep them, you know, I mean, they have a ton of hits. How do you keep the set list, you know, good for all the hardcore Fleetwood Mac fans?
You know, it doesn't matter what we do. Somebody's always going to come up to us and ask us for something that we weren't planning on playing that night, or after we're done and saying, "Oh, I wish you would have played this or that." And I don't know what to do about that. I mean, so we, you know, when you're scheduled, like, you know, say we're at Orris and, you know, they basically say, okay, well, you're going to play from, you know, 8 to 10. Or, you know, some place might say 9 to 10:30, and then you've only got so much time. It is always like, what are we going to leave out? You know, because we want to play them all. We'd stand up there every night that we get to play and play all 4 hours of the, you know, stuff we know. But it's just, you know, that's not gonna fly with most venues and stuff under curfew restraints and you know, and all the, you know, other things that happen to be, you're just not going to get to do that, you know? So we do shake it up quite a bit. So hopefully, you know, people who didn't come and see us, or did come and see us last year, if they come back, hopefully they'll get a couple new things and stuff like that. You know, if we're just talking about like the Orris, you know, but that kind of goes for everywhere that we play. We try to look at the set list the last time we were there and then move things around a little bit.
You mentioned the vocal harmonies, and you know they're in you know late 60s, early 70s, late 70s, notorious for 3 and 4 part harmonies. What do you guys do, and how do you do the harmonies of the music of Fleetwood Mac? You know, Lindsey's part. Does somebody else have Stevie's? Do you always take the same, I guess, harmony in the song?
We try to. Yeah, we try to. Thankfully, we're blessed enough to where not only do we have the visual representation of the band, but we have the people, you know, so Lindsey doesn't sing, you know, Christine's part, because that's where Lindsey's vocal range would be. So we're actually blessed in that way to where each person is kind of really close to that vocal range. There's only a couple of songs where we've swapped little pieces, and we would, you know, also really be careful about listening to it back after we did it and go, well, is that representational, you know, or should we just try harder to get it, you know, exactly 100% right? So we try to go with does it sound like that? I know there's one thing that we switched. I'm not even going to say where it is. That way you don't know. But yeah, we switched it, and we were like, because it like fit better in our vocal ranges, and then we listened to it back, we're like, that actually sounds more like the actual album than it did before. So yeah, so happy accidents can happen too. But yeah, no, we're just, you know, the band's so freaking good. I've been in a lot of bands over the years, and I can't always say that. So it's kind of nice to be able to say, and I don't like to gloat or brag too much either. But, you know, I'm not even saying it's me. I'm like, the rest of the band is just, they're amazing musicians.
What are some?
So that makes it a lot easier.
What are some of the biggest challenges that you face in bringing Fleetwood Mac's music to the stage?
Getting 6 people to a gig.
Right. Logistics.
Yeah, logistics is always a little bit more. So, you know, most bands are usually comprised of 3, 4, or 5 people. So, you know, 6 people becomes difficult. I had discussing this a little bit with my buddy Jeff Faulkner, who's in the ELO band up here in St. Louis, who's got like 11 people in his band. And
wow.
I was just like, Jesus, I'm like, I don't know how you do it, man. Cause I'm like, juggling 6 people is hard enough. But yeah, so I would say that it's work schedules, it's other band schedules, and getting all 6 people, you know, whenever you reached out, we were talking on email. I asked you, I said, do you want the whole band, or can you just want to talk to me? Because I was like, oh man, I was like, I was in my head, I was like, maybe we can get 3 or 4 people together. I don't know if we can get all 6 people together for a radio interview.
Yeah, that'd be pretty tough.
Other than that, I mean, space sometimes is an issue. And also we try to be pretty careful about sound because it's so vocal dominant, and those harmonies are so important to the sound of it that we really, have to make sure that we have good sound. Like the places that we play have good sound, and that there's good sound people, engineers that are, able to, make sure the band, what we're playing on stage actually gets conveyed out to the audience. So those are always very big considerations.
We have Dave from Big Love, Fleetwood Mac Tribute, Friday, June 16th, Orris Theater in St. John, Missouri. Doors are at 6:30, shows at 8 p.m. What's your website, Dave, and where can people find your stuff?
Right now, the website is actually being built. So, but you can find us on a tribute to Fleetwood Mac, Big Love, a tribute to Fleetwood Mac on Facebook. And you can see all kinds of videos and little promos and things we've done and things like that. And you can also catch, sign up, to follow us and see where we're playing next, because maybe you can't come to the St. John concert, but, we do play the area quite a bit. So I think we might even be like Crown Valley sometime this summer, I believe.
Oh, very cool.
Not really sure. So within the area, or maybe they're just coming to town, come up to St. Louis, you never know.
Absolutely. The barn will be in the building Friday, June 16th at the Orris Theater in St. John, Missouri to catch Big Love, Fleetwood Mac Tribute. Dave, we appreciate your time tonight.
Well, cool. I appreciate it, and I look forward to meeting you in person.